Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we currently have several avenues we can pursue to get our armies even stronger. Our army is already extremely strong, but it can get stronger. And what we can do is we can hop in here. All of these can now be taken up to 22. So that on its own is significant. We can, of course, continue to upgrade our holdings. We're approaching the end of our holdings upgrades, but there is still work to be done. We can absolutely get additional constructions going there. That is an option. But there's also the option that I've mentioned a couple times throughout this series, and we've just never done anything with. It hasn't really been necessary, and I would argue it's still not necessary, and that's acclaimed knights, accolades. So we can create accolades here to give us boosts in various things. We do already have one, actually we have a couple of inactive accolades. This is travel safety. I don't care. Irrelevant. First of the battle line, this gives disciplinarian. At rank 1, that doesn't do anything. Vassal herd contribution and levy reinforcement rate. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay, so then we've got Keeper in the Jungle here. This is about Elephant Rider, with Valiant being the secondary. That's actually pretty good. Army damage up to plus 30%. That's insane. And that doesn't even count the Elephant buff, which is minus 50% Elephant Cavalry maintenance, plus 3 Elephant Cavalry regiments, and plus 20% damage and toughness at rank 5. That's kind of insane. I'd like to return the Keeper in the Jungle, but we don't have too much to do here. So I'm going to destroy these that we don't care about. This one here is Master of Revels and Thug. I don't care. And keep in mind, we're probably going to have a different secondary accolade attribute for that, but that's okay. Archer regiments here, though, that's pretty decent. So we've got extra archer regiments, and I'd like to have some siege ones, or rather a siege one, and then I'd like to have like a generic toughness or army damage one for our 4 accolades. So we can create 2 accolades, and this guy, he has potentially contender, marauder, and stalwart. Now, the stalwart is okay for army toughness down the line, but immediately it doesn't give us anything. Blade Master, Knight Effectiveness, okay. Disciplinarian and Scoundrel, I don't care about that. This guy doesn't serve as a knight right now, but he has Besieger, and also Pike Captain. I'm going to recruit him to court. And then he is going to be forced to serve as a knight, and we're going to make him an acclaimed knight. And he's currently got Besieger and Pike Captain, and that actually seems pretty ideal. So we're going to go ahead and create that accolade. There we go. And we would love to have a successor here. We could recruit this guy to court, force him to be a knight, and there we go. He now is a successor there. So that seems good. It's going to be a little while before that really ramps up in terms of its level of effectiveness. So that's fine. So we know that the other one that we want is going to be fairly generic, right? So if we look down over here, let's see. This guy has Reeve, Thug, and Idealist. I don't care about that. None of that is important. None of this is important. None of this is important. We could go for something like Blade Master, I suppose, but Stalwart is really more like what we're looking for, I think. If we were to do this, we would want him to be Stalwart as the primary attribute. And then after that, we could go for Marauder or Contender. This is going to change. Uncontrolled territory attacker advantage is not a bad idea. And this is kind of mediocre, but we'll go with it. So that seems fine for now. And we would like to have a successor for this accolade. We're going to have to seek a worthy successor. And we're also going to have to restore our accolades. So we need to go into our decisions, and we need to, where is it in here? Restore accolades. There we go. So we'll send that out, and that'll be fine. There's a scheme at court. No one could have ever seen this coming. Okay. Sure, that's fine. Down here in Kyle, we've got war elephants stationed here right now. The only thing that we can boost them with at this moment is blacksmith districts, but I kind of feel like we should work on maxing out all of our men-at-arms for right now. So we'll get going on that. This is going to be expensive, but we can get started on it anyway. 100 gold, yes. He might rebel. That's okay. We're okay with it if he rebels. So we're going to boost up these bombards somewhat. That'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so an acclaimed Chervier candidate has arrived. This ransom is actually acceptable. This ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is acceptable. We want all the gold that we can get our hands on right now. We also have low county control up over here. I didn't realize that. Okay, let's hop up over this direction and get ourselves our marshal. Increasing control up here. It makes sense because we revoked that title in the way that we did. I just didn't realize it was like that. So that is absolutely fine. The Hornblower needs a worthy successor, and there is not one currently. Okay, we're going to restore these, or rather ransom these prisoners here in a moment, but I do want to hop in here to our inactive accolades, appoint Sword of Shiva. That'll be this guy. Okay, so it resets. That's not terribly surprising. And we need a successor for this, but we can't get one right now. So now all we need is an additional Accolade person to restore that one. Okay, this ransom is acceptable. And I want to just go through here and ransom all of these prisoners. Yes, this will likely cause additional internal turmoil. And that's okay. It's absolutely fine, in fact. Okay, so that's all we can ransom for now. We'll be able to do more here in a moment. And I do want to hold a coronation. That will definitely be a thing that we're going to want to do. Okay, more ransoming can be done now. Not that one. Okay, let's see how many we can do still. 4 additional. But some of those are going to be the same person. Yeah. Understood. Okay, so that's a fair amount of gold coming in there. We've still got more prisoners that we can ransom, but some of these are going to be to the same person. Okay, there we go. Something like that. And yes, we accept this ransom. Fantastic. Someone stole our artifact. That's very rude. Very rude indeed. And we're going to ransom this guy. Okay, we've got a couple more ransoms that we can do here. Still another one beyond this as well. Yes, we accept all of that money. Perfect. We accept this money. Yes. Okay, we accept this as well. What have we got here? We've got this guy, and that should be it. Now, they may still ask us for additional things, but that's all that we can ask of them. And that's absolutely fine. Let's use this money to get going on all of these up to maximum size. Well, we can't afford all of it because elephants are ridiculously expensive, but we can at least get going on it. So that seems good. Where's this plague at? I don't care. Okay. So that seems fine for now. Okay, we need to take a look at the Chervier situation here. So, this guy is... What rank is this guy? He's rank 0. Okay, yeah. We don't have a successor available for this yet. We don't have a successor here yet either. So that would be preferable to have one there. And, of course, we want to restore this Accolade, the Keeper in the Jungle. So we're going to need to do a restore accolades, but we can't do that for a few more years. So that's absolutely fine for now. Okay, there's an accolade successor for the Hornblower of the Samrat's Gallants, and we're going to take a look at that. That is this. Done. Okay, so he is now an acclaimed knight. Sounds good. And, well, he's a successor for an acclaimed knight, I should say. Yes, summon the physician. It'll probably be fine. I don't expect a big problem here. These are expensive. Sure. We'll get the high aptitude one. It's fine. We'll be out of debt in a month. It's not a big deal. So I do want to make sure that you are on control plagues. Okay, and this is just going to be up over here, so it's not that big of a deal. So that seems fine for now. It's a long ways away from us. A soft approach is best. Okay, so we're going to be out of debt very, very shortly here. We just discovered the crane's fascination, and from there, rightful ownership is going to be finished very soon. We could go for... I don't care about Deccan Unity. Sappers is probably the best thing for us to go for here, actually. Ermine Cloaks eventually, but we're not running into issues with this. We've got a lot of consolidation and kingdom creations that we can do before we run into issues with vassal limit. So that seems fine for the moment. We're going to be out of debt here in just a moment, and this ransom is acceptable. We are now out of debt. Perfect. The Sword of Shiva needs a worthy successor, and I'd love to have one. We just don't have one at this moment. We've not held a coronation, and we probably should. So that'll be a thing that we're going to want to do. We'll throw this guy in jail, which might give us more money. That'd be neat. Okay, so we've become obese. That's, of course, not good for our overall health. So do we want to lose weight? Can we lose weight? We can. That'll be fine. We'll work on it. We'll at least try. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that can happen is we die, but you never can tell. So we need to save up some money for a coronation. That's definitely a thing that we need. We also need to get these back up. Oh, this is back down to 23 out of 21. See, this is why we wanted to do this as quick as we could. This is back down to 20 of 20. I'm not sure exactly what changed, but something changed. We can no longer bump these up, but the ones that are up over the maximum size remain over the maximum size. This is why bumping these up is always a very high priority. So unfortunately, this is a situation that we find ourselves in, and there's not a lot that we can do about it, because I'm not sure what was giving us that benefit to begin with. So for right now, it is just fine. We might have had a temporary timed buff or something in here somewhere that went away, but regardless, it's as good as it's going to get for right now. We can still continue to work on our buildings, and we can still continue to work on our knights. That's definitely something we want to do. But I want to hold a coronation, and we're going to do so. So this is going to be a regular coronation. This is going to be at a traditional coronation location, and this is fine. So we're going to head over here. There's one danger on the route. It's hills. Do we have a caravan master? Ah, that's good enough. Okay, so we'll bump this up to glory and splendor and lavish banquets. That's actually a lot of gold. 2218. Okay, we'll need to save up a little bit more money than this. Noted. 2218 is quite a lot of gold. That's more than I expected it to be. But we can get a stewardship perk here. And that's going to be, it is my domain. And that's going to give us that money basically immediately. Now, where are my loyal subjects? Yes, they even live by my mercy alone. So now we have the money that we need. And we're going to hold this coronation. There we go. And that is going to be out over here. We are going to have no danger. This is going to be like so. Impress attendees is what we want. And let's start this coronation. So off we go. We can also ransom these two prisoners. Well, one of them anyway. And we'll go ahead and do that. Get that sweet, sweet 10 gold. Down in Kyle, I definitely do want to upgrade this blacksmith at this point, since we don't have any reason to put money here. Okay, we successfully interpreted the instructions. Fantastic. Reusing metals, huh? The prize crossbow is going to be destroyed. Well, this is not surprising. Actually, it's a little surprising. I bet it was you who broke it. Okay, we can definitely repair this for 250 gold. Do we care to? Honestly, that's actually pretty good. I'll repair it. I'm not happy about it, but I'll repair it. Did that even take the money, or did we immediately get a month tick? I think we immediately got a month tick. Okay, so that is fine. Let's get this coronation underway. We need to get our magnificence up as high as we can. We're no longer obese, so that's, you know, neat. That will help our health. And this ransom is acceptable. Cool. So that means we can come up over here and we can upgrade this militia camp, which we are, of course, delighted to do. So we're up over 50k for our total soldier count. That's really not bad, but it's really the incredibly high quality of our soldiers that is most important. So that's absolutely excellent. These two are level 1, whereas this guy is still level 0. Sure, we'll get some prestige. I would love to restore this accolade. We just can't at this moment. So in Madurai, our best upgrade here would be to upgrade our Fletcher's Guild. That's expensive. Over in Colum, the real upgrade here would be this, and I don't want to do that. That doesn't boost our troops at all at this moment. We could certainly put in a bailiff's office. That would be a 10% holding tax increase throughout this entire duchy. That'd be a pretty significant amount of gold. I'll do it. That is a pretty significant amount of gold. So it's going to be like 1 gold over here. It's going to be almost 3 gold here, almost 3 gold here. This is going to be 2.4 and 1.3. So overall, that's going to be like 5 gold per month. That's not too bad, all things considered. It's not huge, but it definitely is a pretty hefty upgrade as far as a building goes. So we've got some of these buildings finishing up. We'll throw this guy in jail. Perfect. And then the question, of course, becomes, how's this coronation going? We've had very few events in the coronation, actually. I want the magnificence to go up. Notably, yes. I'd hoped that that would make it to level 4, but it did not. Magnificence increases notably. Yes. Okay. We'd become the owner of Tamil architecture, which we did just have our previous one stolen. This is more than we could ask for. So that seems wonderful, and we can then equip that as a journal, right? Yeah. And apparently sneeze. I guess we're allergic to Tamil architecture. Excellent. So in that case, we do have some regalia that we should probably put on. So let's go for the Kariyar regalia if we can. Apparently we can't equip these. Oh, we have the law uncrowned. We have to be coronated to do this. Gotcha. Right. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. We've just got this modest gemstone for our trinkets, and that seems fine. Okay. So let's get this coronation done then. And the magnificence would increase slightly. Potentially. I'd love to make level 5 magnificence. We'll see if that happens. 22 legitimacy here, though. That's not bad. We'll definitely take 22 legitimacy. So that is excellent. We're not a patriarch. 75 prestige, I guess will be fine. Okay. This is an act of tyranny. I'm not sure how much we care. Magnificence increases slightly for 450 gold. Honestly, we'll take the dread. There we go. Fantastic. We're the very image of a great Samrat. That increased our magnificence highly. So we're now almost to the top level of magnificence. So what do we got here? Duel to the death, huh? They hate me, yet they cannot stop me. We spent 150 prestige, but I don't care. How they plead for my rule. 75 legitimacy. That's quite a lot of legitimacy, so that's good. Demand type conversion interactions. Sure. This guy gave us 295 gold. That's nice of him. We lose 208 stress. Not that we had much stress to begin with. Okay. What oath are we going to swear here? We could secure alliances. That's not going to happen. We could shape the realm. That's almost certainly going to happen. We could expand the realm. That's a lot of expansion. 270 from 208. That's 62 counties. Honestly, I'm going to take Shape the Realm for now. I can guarantee that we're going to do that. And we did make level 5 magnificence, so that's excellent. And what are we going to get out of this? 11%? That is not good odds, but okay. We spent 75 prestige. I don't care. Indeed, we must revel as one. I like how our major detractor is King Wana. That's actually pretty funny. He's a wannabe emperor. I like it. So at this point, sure, we could gain some prestige here. That's fine. And what is this? Every guest with the offer support intent will gain 50 opinion from us? Sure. Why not? That seems fine. What a good evening. Okay, what is this ransom? Yes, 200 gold. We'll do that. He's probably going to oppose us, but that's absolutely fine. So, back at the coronation, what do we got going on here? The head Shorvir of Kariar would gain 50 glory, and that would definitely be a good thing. Or we could do the Sword of Shiva. Basically, we can choose which of our acclaimed knights we want to honor here. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to grab this one. All of them need to be ranked up eventually. Okay. Our intent was set with 4 different cultures, and our reign begins. And we'll finish the coronation. Okay, so we didn't make legitimacy level 4. That's unfortunate. But the good news is we are now crowned, in theory, and we can equip one of these regalia. And it's going to be this one. There we go. So we'll return home. We've got 2,000 gold at this moment. And I want to look at our oath here. Did that building we just finished count? It did. Okay. So we only need to upgrade 7 more buildings. That's very, very easy to do. So I want to upgrade our workshop here. That's most of our gold. That's absolutely fine. A 1% chance of death. Sure, we'll recruit this person to our court instead. That sounds good. So I do still have 2 prisoners that we can ransom here, which we are delighted to do. There we go. And we just discovered rightful ownership. Okay, sounds good. So up over this direction, we absolutely want to get the workshop going here. We can't do this because we're missing 41 gold. Okay. For a second there, I thought we had the gold and it was telling us that we didn't, but no, this is quite correct. We need to wait for that month tick. There we go. So we'll get that going. That seems fine. Now, we should probably start thinking about expansion again very, very soon. I feel like at this moment, we are in a position where we're pretty stable internally. Yes. We're quite stable internally right now. So we could definitely start thinking about some external expansion. The question is where? So we've got this guy here. We could subjugate him. We can only attempt 1 subjugation war per lifetime, though. And if we're going to subjugate anybody, I'd like it to be like this guy up over here. We actually can't do that. We could holy war for kingdom once we have enough, but we can't subjugate this guy. That's a little unfortunate. Bring the Mongols under tribute. I'd like to subjugate them. Unfortunately, that doesn't appear to be an option. We could subjugate Red Horde, which would be interesting. And then this guy here, we have some de jure lands. We've got this claim. This guy's of a different religion. We could demand his conversion, and we have an increase to this. So let's see if he'll convert. No, he refused to convert. Was there anyone else who had that claim? No. Okay, so this is going to be very expensive in prestige to get that done, but that is an option. So that's noted. We've also got this up over here that we could theoretically subjugate. That would be a pretty decent subjugation. No doubt about that. But in order to declare this, we will need to be exalted among men. So that's understood. We'll need to raise up our prestige amount no matter what we want to do. So here's what I'm thinking. This guy is a good candidate to make claims on and just chip away at him over time. So we'd essentially just fabricate a claim down here, and if we could get the luck like what we had up here for those duchy claims, that'd be phenomenal. But I kind of doubt that will be what we have. We'll see. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to see about going back to war and pushing some of our smaller claims that we have access to right now. We're probably not going to see huge amounts of gains for a little while. I'd really like to get this guy subjugated. That would be the dream. It's not currently eligible, and I'm noticing he's currently a child. I wonder if that's why it's not eligible. It's a possibility. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.